Hey y'all, welcome back. This is part 3 of my trying to conceive pregnancy, labor, and birth journey with Harper. If you haven't watched the other 2 videos, the links are in the description box below, and you can also click here to go to those now. Because if you start here, you probably are going to be a little confused. So let's get into the video. When Harper was first born, I can't even describe the feelings that I felt. I don't really know how to explain it. There was this feeling of immense joy and incredible sadness and exhilaration, and I just felt like my whole spirit had left my body and I was looking down on the situation. It was literally all of the 7 souls who had been in my body were released or freed. I was just really happy. This has been a really long and hard journey for me, and the pregnancy was fairly easy if you subtract the body pain, the back pain, the hyperemesis, and not really being able to do much of anything. And so it was a straightforward pregnancy in terms of her health, and that's all I could have ever asked for. And so to have this person to be born screaming and pink and have APGARs of 9 and 10 and know that, you know, she was here and she was safe, I just couldn't describe that feeling. The first day in the hospital, I knew that I was not going to be there for very long. You do not get any good sleep when you're in the hospital. The nurses are coming in and out every hour or so, sometimes every 2 hours, day and night, to check on you, to check on the baby. And while I completely understand why they need to do that, it is such an annoyance. After 24 hours, I was like, I'm ready to go home. And they said, well, you just had a C-section. I said, I don't care. I'm ready to go home. They got her checked out with the pediatrician and they confirmed that everything was good to go. We got the cleared from the pediatrician and we went home, which was the best place for us to be. Recovery this time was actually a little bit easier because this was my 3rd C-section. I kind of knew what to expect, and I think my body knew what to expect. There was less pain, still painful, and I was able to get off of like the heavy pain medication and switch to ibuprofen pretty soon after we got home and got settled. I'd say within the first week. My physical recovery was fine. I do have some pretty extensive back issues still. Had to have lots of x-rays and other scans and go to the chiropractor weekly, and that wasn't really fixing it. And so now we're taking the next steps where I'm having to use a lidocaine patch on my back, and we'll probably be going to see an osteopath or another doctor that specializes in bones. It's a step kind of above the chiropractor to find out what's going on with my back and see if there was some kind of trauma either through the pregnancy or through the labor or something else. Now, my emotional recovery and my emotional healing has been a little bit different. I would categorize what I've been feeling as birth trauma. That's probably why it's taken me 2.5 months to create this video in the first place. I didn't want to talk about my labor. Every time that I saw someone post on YouTube about their labor and delivery, I got sad. Or if I saw labor and deliveries on TV, I got sad. And it's because once we got to the hospital, I felt bullied. Not only did I feel bullied by my OBGYN, but I felt bullied by, sadly, my midwife as well. The atmosphere at home was so lighthearted and fun, and even though there was lots of hard work because it's labor, we were dancing and singing and laughing and joking, and there was food here, and it was great. It was where I wanted to be. When I got to the hospital, everything changed. She basically sided with the hospital staff saying that baby hadn't actually engaged, even though she said that baby had engaged at home, and all kinds of other things that just kind of like completely were not what I was expecting. I was expecting for her to be my advocate, and I don't feel like she was. After fighting with the hospital staff for about, I would say 6 or 7 hours, my OBGYN that I've been seeing concurrently came in, checked me, never told me how far I was dilated, said, I don't think that you're making progress, let's just have a C-section. it wasn't said in a way of like, let's be partners in your care. It was said in, I'm the authoritative person and this is what's happening. All of that caused so much trauma for me. To be someone who, this is my field. It would be like if someone is a chef and someone came into your kitchen and said, this is what you're gonna do and you don't have any say so. For me, working in the birth field for as long as I've worked, to have all of my power stripped away by two people that I actually trusted for my care left me debilitated. I didn't know what to do. And to this day, I still don't know what to do with those feelings other than to say, I have to work through them and then eventually move on. Because it's not always about you get a happy, healthy baby at the end of the day, because that's what mothers are conditioned to do. We're conditioned to only care about our babies and the welfare of our families and to put ourselves last. And that's exactly what people who don't believe in birth trauma feel like, that birth trauma doesn't exist and you should just be happy that you got a baby. But that's not the case for me. I'm sad about it. I can't even really talk about my birth story with people. And I actually don't even want to be a midwife anymore. And who knows, maybe down the road that will change. But as of right now, I am done with birth work. And that's a hard decision. I'm working through my birth trauma as best as I can. The best thing that I can do is look at Harper and just say that at the end of the day, I do feel like I was bullied and I do have a lot of trauma and I do have postpartum depression, but she is worth it. And I look at Riley and feel the same way. My daughters are worth it. And with that being said, our family is complete. Krista and I have decided that there will not be any more babies. When I made that last video, when I was explaining Grayson's pregnancy and loss, I said that there wouldn't be any more children from me. And that was because of the time Krista was planning to carry. But at this point, neither of us have any plans or any intentions to carry. Like I said at the beginning of the series, I have carried 7 souls within my body and only 2 of which are living. That's a lot to put on your body and it's a lot to put on your heart. And so 7 is the magic number. It's lucky number 7, and that is where it shall be. The joke around here when people say, are you going to have another one? And I respond, my cervix is like the old mine shaft in Scooby-Doo. It is boarded up, never to be open again. There will not be any more babies inhabiting my body because I know for a fact with 3 C-sections, there is no way that I'm going to be able to give birth vaginally. And it's going to be really hard for me to find a care provider that will be able to grant my wishes that I want for pregnancy and childbirth. I've always wanted a house full of children. And the way that I think about it is that when I see Harper looking up at the ceiling and she's laughing and smiling, I think that her 5 other siblings are there entertaining her. And so I do have a house full of children. They're just not all here with me in the physical sense. We've talked about adoption in the future, but it's way down the road. Right now, our family is focusing on being a unit of 4, strengthening that unit of 4, traveling and seeing the world, and just enjoying each other. And if adoption happens to fall into our lap at some point down the road, we would more than welcome it. We're really excited with all of the new things that are going on with our family. And I am blessed and humbled by this journey. I really appreciate you guys for watching. All of our social media and message information is in the description box below. So again, thanks so much for watching, and we will see you guys in the next vlog. Bye.